Some people that get my age work jigsaw puzzles to keep their mind sharp. I can work out the pattern of these big bucks. That'd be good. There's some big rubs right back there he's done. What we got here, Jacob, is you can see this straight from last year. Looks like he might have actually started working on it again this year and broke that. Don't touch it, limb. But it's an old logging road, and they're always working these logging roads. And if you can see here, we hadn't got a whole lot of a trail. But we got buck sign, and all along here you'll find historical sign and fresh sign from last year. So let's just take a stroll. And let's just say we come into a new area, and you note these gore marks here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, what are you watching for going down through here?
I would say both habitat diversity, but also any kind of crossing trails or sign, anything diverging off this main trail.
You said 3 things: habitat diversity, crossing trails, and sign.
Yep.
Okay, that's all good, but the main thing we're looking for is trails coming in or leaving. We want to see if this gets heavier or weaker.
Okay.
So I'm watching for the trail to get heavy. I'm watching for other trails to come into it. I know the signs here. I know bucks use it because of the signs. So the main thing I'm watching for, I want to find that heaviest section of trail. See this travel corridor here on this edge coming into it?
Okay, yep.
And there's another one coming into it here. All right. The heaviest section of this trail is right here. This is the heaviest section. Right through here for about 40 yards. Then you got one trail going up the hill, one turning left. You got a trail coming off here too. See this?
Oh yes, that super subtle trail, yeah.
What can you tell me about it?
Well, number one, we got a limb sticking across that trail, so that might be something that's kind of fresh, but I mean, it's just kind of a paralleling trail, kind of cutting across at the base of this down tree behind us.
It's a varmint trail. It's not a deer trail. See how narrow it is? See how it goes under that log, comes out the other side?
Yep.
They ain't jumping over it. And see how it winds. A deer trail will go straight.
Okay.
They'll look at it, they don't waste their energy. A deer trail is pretty well straight. If it makes a turn, it's a subtle turn. This and if you go over there, it runs right up to a tree and goes around it.
Okay.
So don't get confused if a trail leaves your trail until you look it over. This is a coyote, varmints. We got them old armadillos now. They ain't very good, but they're better than fox.
Well, and that's a good point though, talking about like the varmint trails, because that's something you get in some areas, specifically those armadillo trails will get people. And it's
that's
like
right.
You'll see them and it'll kind of go through an area and it looks all worn out, and then you don't find any deer tracks.
Well, you got to be a woodsman. You can go right down through there and there's a bunch of rubs. You can see them from here.
Yep.
And then you got a trail going up through there. So we just lost a trail. So this is basic stuff. One trail continues on. So we just lost a trail, and as you can see, the heaviest section is from here to about right past where that varmint trail is at. So that's where you want to put stand. And since there's big rubs from last year, we decided it was good enough to do a double stand. So we put one here for a northwest wind, and we put one up here.
Yep.
So look how close they are. That's the way I like them. We don't want to miss or wound a big deer. So we're set up to kill this buck this year, and his fresh sign was here last year. So we got a tree stand right here.
Well, another thing about this spot, once you get a better lay of the land, you get this ditch that comes up right here on the back side of this one stand. You got down trees in it.
Yeah.
Those deer going around. But also, you notice that once we're right here in this spot, this corner of these shortleaf pines, it's like a little block of shortleaf pines that kind of comes to the spot where this trail's at. The trail kind of splits. You got the rubs and everything around here. And then the debris on both sides. Yeah.
See that's what made this funnel. It's not geographic. That ditch ain't deep enough, but see the drowned debris, see that down tree? There's one trail that come into this one right at the end of that down tree. And then they're on it, see how heavy the trail is right here? That's what you look for, the heaviest section. And then they don't want to go off through there and have to jump all that mess either. So they're either going to go around here or here.
Now, is this what you would describe as a soft funnel?
Well, it's a debris funnel, and all of them are pretty well soft funnels. This is definitely soft on this side. It's harder on this side because that is a lot for a deer to climb through. A few of them might jump that log, but they ain't going through 2 or 3 trees and all them limbs up through there dead. So it's harder on this side. But now this is not what I want to show you as a classic soft or hard funnel. This is not a terrain or geographic funnel. This is a debris funnel. Let's go look at a Let's go look at a good ditch funnel. Then we can talk about that.
Okay, perfect.
Let's say we're walking or driving through the woods like we are today.
Yep.
What do you look for other than obvious buck sign? You look for this.
Okay.
A place the ground drops away real fast and where a funnel heads up, where a ditch heads up. So I always stop and investigate every one of them. So let's investigate this one.
Okay.
I need my compass out of there too when you get, you know.
Interesting.
This, I'm throwing something on you here a little different.
Okay.
We ain't talked about a compound funnel. This is what I call a compound funnel. Okay?
Okay.
Where's the tight spot in this funnel?
I mean, the tightest spot's right here.
You see the trail?
Yep.
See the trail? This is something we ain't discussed. Guess what? There's another
Down here.
down here. This will confuse a person pretty easy. Here's the heavy trail. Here's where everything's coming together to go around a hard ditch funnel on this side, but it's non-existent on this. It's a one-sided funnel.
Okay.
But it's hard here. Now we've got a sinkhole. You'll find ditches like this sometimes. And guess what? Right down there is another ditch funnel on the same ditch. So let's walk down there and look at it. We got two major trails that's obvious,
Okay.
the one here and the one there.
Okay. Yeah.
This is for the deer that came across and they're wanting to go down yonder. They cut the corner tight and go where they was going before they hit the ditch. This is for the ones that's varying more higher up, that's wanting to go from there to here. So where is the tightest spot on this funnel?
I mean, the tightest spot would be right here where they merge.
Okay, right here where they merge. Okay, right here
At the head of the drainage.
where they go up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, on a typical funnel, this is the shooting spot. This is what you're concerned about. This is not a typical funnel.
Yeah.
If you get on this side of it with the wind blowing that way, you're blowing to these deer coming off to the funnel, both directions. And plus you're missing deer. But if we can somehow cover the deer on both funnels from the same tree, or we're doubling a good funnel. All right, let's see if you can pick out you need my compass. Let's see if you can pick out a tree.
We'll figure it. So I think it's got to be to my right here, where this trail comes back around and tightens back down on this top trail. Something sitting right here where that deer is coming around and bottlenecking back.
Okay, you're talking too quick. You're trying to decide too quick. You need to go walk those trails and dissect them. You need to find the furthest trail up the hill.
Okay.
And the furthest trail down the hill. Then you need to find the place they come the very closest and see if it's acceptable. Okay. Okay. So
I want to go down first. Yeah, right here, and then it looks like there's another one. Right.
is there one there or not? I believe the lowest one.
No. Doesn't look like it.
No, I don't think so.
So they're crossing up higher.
Now this one comes in right here is the lowest system.
Yep.
All right, right here. Okay, now see, I would ask Bobby. I'd say, Bobby, I might, if I was you, say, Mr. Worthington, could you stand there? You know,
Okay. I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah, Bobby, if you'd say,
but not too close to the edge. You know, a man my age breaks a hip, they tell me you're through.
yeah, we can't have that. We're gonna have you hunting this year. Yeah. So if you stay on that trail, this next trail is just maybe 5 yards from me.
We ain't concerned about the next one. We're concerned about the last one.
The top one. Okay.
Yeah.
So going to the top of the funnel. One's right here.
Okay, find the furthest trail away from this one you can find.
Okay, there's that one.
That may be it.
That's double check. Yeah.
Okay, well now get to that one.
So top trees here. So
yeah,
20.
Now you walk this way, and I'm gonna walk, and then you ask me to walk. Walk with you.
Okay, all right, Bob. Yeah, so let's parallel each other.
Okay.
See where this trail comes out.
Make sure I'm not losing nothing down the hill, and you're not losing anything up the hill.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
kind of pinches down, cuts back right here.
Okay, that little hump there brings you down toward me.
Yeah.
Now, if you pass that hump, look close, you may have a trail cutting away from it then.
Going up. Interesting. Let's see. So right here.
You don't understand the concept until you understand that we're worried about the two trails that are the furthest apart.
Up and down elevation.
Okay, here we go. It's getting dark on us. Let's speed this up.
Yep.
I'm obviously dropping off the hill.
Yeah.
I'm obviously spreading away from you. I'm obviously going further apart.
Yeah, this one kind of wraps up.
And that wraps up.
Yep.
And there's several between us.
Yep.
So to cover them all, we're not the closest. Let's go back to the closest. And then we want to start looking up.
Okay.
Not at birds or airplanes.
That red oak.
Okay, now go back on your trail, the highest trail, and I'm on the lowest one right here. It's right there at the hump, right at the hump. We get the closest together.
Yep.
If you noticed, we get the closest together right here.
Yeah, right in here.
Not right in here, exactly right here.
Okay, right here, yeah.
All right, now, let's look at our compass. North is this way. Northwest is this way. Okay, now, first off, I would suggest finding a suitable tree with the right distance, maybe cover, maybe one on both sides, one on one side, and then look at the compass direction you can hunt it. That's how I go about it.
Okay.
Okay?
So for your side, especially if we're talking inside 20-yard shot, that red oak to your left, right there, wouldn't be a terrible, not really great cover. But then again, talk about making cover, had that opportunity.
How would we make cover?
Zip tie or tie up branches up around the
ratchet
side,
strap. What about ratchet strapping that sapling over, that big sapling?
Ratchet that strap, yeah. Bring that sapling over.
Make it real busy, and if you're up there in the fork, you've done got a split to help you anyway.
Yep.
Now let me make an observation.
Okay.
That would all be great because the closest shot you're gonna be is right there.
Yep.
It's 15 yards to the furthest one, 5 yards to the closest one. A couple of things here, it's unsafe.
Hollow tree.
Now let's just pretend it is safe though.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what would you do and enhance it? You would add that cover, anything else?
I'm not sure.
I would hinge cut. Because of the direction this trail is going, I'd want to get him about 6 yards where I'd get a better chance of a broadside shot than about 4 yards.
Okay.
So I wouldn't try to move him far, you'll lose him. He'll go on the other side.
Okay.
But since there's a drop off right down there, you can actually hinge cut from the drop off to here. And I would push him only a couple of 3 yards. So I'd hinge cut a few things right here, and I would make a more obvious trail this way to show the deer that the deer are going to this side of it.
Okay.
And that'd give you a lot better broadside shot.
That's a very good point. And then on the flip side, if you wanted a tree in the opposite, so that's hunting with a northwest wind kind of blowing down that drainage.
Well, that would be wind out of the northeast, north or northwest to be fine.
Okay.
Now, what about evening or morning?
I mean, if you could hunt that in the morning, well, let's see, east is over here. Depends on how.
Like right now, most evenings the wind settles and you've not
Thermals
got
are
a
gonna be
wind. The thermals outdoes the wind.
Yeah, you'd want to be on that tree, all your thermals.
That'd be an
sucking in.
excellent evening stand.
Yep.
Pulling your scent downhill, the thermals would away from the deer.
Absolutely.
And you could enter it at say 3 o'clock, and when the deer start moving, you're there set up. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's what I'd do. Northwest, that will work.
Okay.
It's going to miss the deer, and it's going to make them a little vulnerable because they're going to feel like they've got the wind close to their favor. Northwest will work. Due north will work. Northeast will work. So when I write this on paper or make notes of it, I would say, I'd give it a name, this ditch a name, the compound funnel.
Okay.
And I would say I can hunt this stand from a northeast to northwest.
Okay.
That means anywhere in between any of that on the compass reading.
Okay.
Okay, now, what about uphill?
Now, uphill, that's what I was looking at. That trail's right here I'm on.
southwest sea is great because you get a warm front southwest. So it's right through here, so it's away from both trails.
Blowing right over the top.
If you pick a good tree.
A lot of trees are right here.
Ask me to get to the furthest trail.
Yeah, Bobby, you get down to that furthest trail.
Right here.
Okay. And then I'm on the top trail right here.
Okay, now you're on the top trail.
I mean, unless you want to get right above it, that'd be kind of tough. And that's kind of a further shot from that split tree down to you. You get some stuff in the way unless you trimmed it.
Well, we do trim shooting lanes. They make saws specifically for that.
That's true. But I mean, that tree right there, because this trail would go by at about 6 yards.
Okay.
And then to use
You're wanting the closest chestnut oak right there, the little one. Let's go point to it.
I was looking at the split one behind it.
Oh, good.
That split one.
All right, let's see the distance. The only thing there, the only issue there is the distance. Let's see what we got.
So, okay.
$10. $19. That's acceptable.
Okay.
That's acceptable. I will hunt a good funnel. If I have to push it out to 22, I will. No, I don't. If I can find something closer, fine. This is just too open for me and too obvious because when them deer come around this ditch funnel off this hill, you do have a little business here because of the number of trees, but I still think a man might be vulnerable. But we can set it back off here a little bit inside these trees. You got a good tree there. You can even move it over. Excellent.
Well, another thing, just because of this gap in the tree behind you, you're even more skylined, I feel like, in one of these trees if that deer comes off this other hillside, potentially. You
very are. You very well are. But that is good cover.
Yep. Interesting. Well, listen, I've learned a lot right there.
Just in that little bit.
Because when you brought me up and I saw that sinkhole, and again, I knew there's going to be a trail below it and above it, I'm like, probably need to go down to one side or the other where they're pinching back down, which I had that thought process right. But again, your thought on walking the lowest trail and the highest trail, that's a really good point about where they get the closest, and that's where you set up. I didn't think about that.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more you didn't think about. You just don't know enough to know what you didn't think about.
That's true. That's probably true. Absolutely. No, that's interesting. Now, also,
listen. If you learn a lot from this, just imagine what you would do from 2 days of this. Every one of the funnels different. That's very good. And
I think we're going to do that class. And
you're going to learn a lot from my book too, my new book.
Absolutely. Well, one last thing here before we lose light. I'm interested in access here. Again, coming from the bottom. If you had access coming from the bottom, it wouldn't be bad at all. You know, on an evening hunt, slipping right up the backside of that tree. On a morning, is it one of those things that you would want to come straight over the top of the ridge, or would you walk the top of the ridge like from one end to the other and then cut into
Walk that old logging road to roll in. Okay. They're used to traffic on it.
Okay.
It's not near as disturbing to them where they're used to human traffic anyway.
Okay.
Park one way or the other, at least 150 yards. Walk up the road and straight to them.
Okay.
Now, if the wind changes during the day, say you start hunting up here with a good wind and then a cold front comes in and it switches and thermals or in the evening thermals start pulling downhill, just go straight across the trail, hop over it, and get up in the other tree.
This gets me kind of excited. I kind of want to go use this back in Alabama now. Andrew was mentioning this when we were riding around a little bit. There's a lot of this we've overlooked in the past where, like, you get to one of these spots, you're like, oh, there's some trails coming through, but maybe there's some bucks on here, a little bit, but there's not a bunch because they're not spending a lot of time right here. And we kind of overlook it, but now this gives me a newfound perspective of what I should focus on back home and actually set up some cameras and actually pay attention to some of these, again, ditch funnels. Because again, once walking it with you, it makes a lot of sense about picking those trees, find that lowest trail, the highest trail, where they merge the closest or where the trail gets heaviest, and then pick your tree on each side of it. That makes perfect sense. So
this is trail analysis. This is funnel analysis 101. I mean, just in 2 funnels here, you've seen a lot of stuff. Now, in the open woods where you've got systems of trails, it's good to take a notebook. I'm gonna walk this trail, okay, I've drawn this one. Then I got another one coming in here, it's crossing. Then I got another one running here and coming in. It's good to draw them out. Then you can figure out where you can put a tree to blow into a void. And somebody that, now I'm so familiar with it, and my son is, AJ, that, okay, I got a trail coming here, 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 and it's just, we automatically know. But somebody that's not as well experienced in that, it really helps to draw the trail systems out, and then, okay, you know, I see them right here. Cause you can't see them all at once.
yeah, you can't. That's a good point. It was easier with you out here where you could stay on the bottom trail, I could stay on the top trail, because the trails, there's some good sized trails in here, but even when they're the most worn out, there's so much leaf litter right now. It's not like it would be in the springtime where the deer have really used it and worn it down a lot more, that it would be kind of hard to see those two trails. So you'd have to go back and forth, bouncing between them, paying attention and try to find that closest gap. Now, if somebody wants more information and actually wants to come walk this property with you and do your workshop, how would they go about signing up for one of your workshops?
I just let Joe Miles know, Osseo Camo or Osseo Gear. Now we've got a lot of people. We're going to fill up a lot of classes this year. Last year we decided just to do 2 because we didn't come up with the idea until later. But he'll put your name down, but he won't start booking until he'll work with your schedule and try to fit it in, whether you want a weekend or days through the week. But we're going to book a lot more this year, but now he's not going to start booking yet. I've got to look at my archery tournament schedule and a few other things like the crappie run. But we're going to get it in. Okay. February, March, and maybe into April. Half of April is okay. We don't want to wait till it's too hot.
So they just need to reach out to Joe Miles at Osseo. Okay, perfect. So we'll link that down below, guys. Again, if y'all want to come out here and do this class, this 2-day class that Bobby does, it would be well worth it. I'm looking forward to hopefully be able to do it this spring and be able to see more of these different examples after trying to apply this back home, see how it works, and then come up here and get a crash course on it for 2 days. So,
well, you can see what you've learned from 2 funnels. Imagine 22 funnels.
I know, that's why.
And they're all different. Blown. Every one of them is different.
Yeah, my mind's blown.
And the students get to explain everything to me. You know, I let them have a shot at it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's awesome. Well, Bobby, appreciate you letting us walk around the property. Thank you so much. And appreciate y'all watching, guys. Again, we got a lot more awesome content coming at you very, very soon. So thanks y'all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Southern Outdoorsman Podcast and the Southern Outdoorsman on YouTube. And we'll catch you back here from another video from the Southern Outdoorsman. Remember, guys, y'all stay Southern.